So what is your like dream with this music career? Like what is the best thing that could happen to you? Like where this career could go?
uh have my own like serious record label with artists and stuff, and training young artists and stuff to get better, and making music for movies and stuff. Maybe making my own movies. Like I make my own music videos. I mean, that would be my dream, man, to like make a like Prince made movies like starring himself, and he's doing all the music and he's acting in it. He's like maybe directing it. Like that's just the dream, like ultimate dream.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Unconventional Norms. We share stories of people who have found success or on the path to find success in their own unconventional ways. In our society, we've often seen this culture to have to get perfect grades, to always compare ourselves to others, and really need to get to the top of college in order to reach success. And we really want to change this culture, especially in Oxford, and that there are many different ways to find success.
And here with us today, we have Johnny Ramos, singer, songwriter, Oxford alumni from class of 18. So he's here to talk about his musical journey.
So the first question that we have is, when did you first get your passion for music, and what about music really speaks to you?
Well, my dad is a musician. He plays blues guitar. He's like a blues musician, but he can play anything. And I grew up like going to shows and seeing him, and him playing festivals to like hundreds of people. And I was like a little kid on the side of the stage with my brother, and like, just soaking it all in as a really small kid. And I got to meet like a lot of his friends and a lot of different, really interesting, some of them like really weird, like what this guy, like, whoa, he's got, whatever hair, he's colored hair, and, just all kinds of different interesting people that were friends with him that he knew through music. And I just growing up, just absorbed all of that. And music to me is just the easiest way for me to express myself and communicate what I feel. And it's just a great release of like, whatever bad feelings you may have, whatever good feelings you may have, represent it through music. And I love music. I always have.
Definitely. So have you been playing guitar like basically since you came out of the womb?
No, actually not. But that's the interesting thing. Like my dad never actually really pressured me into doing music at all. Yeah. So like legit, it's something that I like that,
Wow.
that I'm obsessed with, because he never,
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he never really pushed me into it.
Was he super happy when you wanted to go into music?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Totally. Because he's like the best teacher I could possibly have for guitar. I mean, he's taught me so much. Like I started off on piano. Like I did piano lessons for a few years. It started when I was like maybe like 9 or 10. And honestly, I hated piano like lessons. Like, piano teachers are all, I don't know, they were always like, I don't know, I feel like I could never like relate to them. They were like trying to make me read sheet music, and I kind of learned how to read sheet music, but like when they would leave the room, like I'd be like fooling around on the piano having my own. None of them kind of got that. Like they never, like, I mean, if I was like a music teacher, I would have seen that and been like, oh yeah, what you're doing, you could do this instead of that, and oh, I like that idea, like help the kid. But like, some of them were just like, no, you got to do this instead of that. Like
so like a lot of rules and like a lot of guidelines instead of like allowing you to really like kind of feel free and doing whatever you want.
Yeah, totally, exactly. And then like,
and there's a lot of classical music too, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I never got that good at even reading sheet. Still, but and then like, I mean, honestly, I think it was just listening. I listened to the Beatles, and I went down the rabbit hole on YouTube, and I was watching like old stuff from the 50s and 60s, and I was like 10, and I was just like, what is this music? They're like harmonizing and singing, and they're going ooh, and they're doing their falsetto, and I'm like, what is this? Like the Beatles? What? And like, I've been obsessed with the Beatles like for like my whole life since then. And then like, it's kind of crazy, but like my dad got cancer when I was like 14. He's better now, but my dad got sick, and he was like really sick, and it freaked us all out. I mean, obviously. And around that time is when I started to play guitar, because I was like, dude, if you know, not knowing really what for sure what's gonna happen. I was like 14, you know, I was in like 8th or 9th grade at Oxford, and being a teenager, you know, whatever. And I was just like, dude, if my dad, like, if something bad happens, like, I better learn. Honestly, I better learn guitar from him, and like, because I mean, he just had such a connection and honesty to the music. I'm like, dude, I got to learn guitar just in case something crazy happens, you know. And my dad was sick, and I was learning. He was teaching me stuff. Whenever I wanted to, I'd ask him for help, and he got me this really, really. It's funny. He has like guitars. I mean, he's a professional musician, so he has nice guitars and stuff that he paid for. But like, he gave me this really cheap guitar that I could get good at like there's a saying, like, you know, if you get good at like playing a really crappy guitar, you might be like decent when you get to like an actual guitar. So like his friend, he found parts of this guitar in a trash can, or like outside of
Oh, okay, that cheap. Okay.
in LA, somewhere in LA, like literally like in an alleyway or something. And he gave it to my dad, and my dad like put actual good like quality parts in it from like a Fender guitar. So it wasn't complete trash. It was like usable trash. So then he was teaching me how to play guitar, and you know, a year went by of him doing, you know, the treatment and chemo and radiation and all that, and he got better. And then I formed a band called the Colony Boys, and we did like a bunch of gigs and stuff in Anaheim, and that was like my first band. And then I've been obsessed with music like ever since I was about 14, just completely obsessed. Yeah.
So, during your kind of music, over your entire music career, what was your favorite performance?
My favorite performance? Ah, dude. Last year, before, you know, all of COVID and everything, I got to go to Italy and do this show with Jaylene, my musical partner in
Right.
my Johnny and Jaylene. And it was like a rockabilly, so like very like, you know, Elvis, you know, late 50s, early 60s, old fashioned kind of music, rockabilly and blues and roots music. It was a festival in Italy, in this town called Bologna. Not Bologna, Bologna. Jamboree, and yeah, we got to play like a few nights actually, because then they had my dad come out and play with us too. So we backed up my dad and sang with my dad, and then we had the next night us, Johnny and Jaylene, with Italian musicians learning our songs from the album that we released. And then the third night we got to perform with like a symphony, like a straight up big orchestra and horn section, and like it was crazy, man. Like I can't even believe it happened. It feels like a fever dream.
So, wait,
No.
so how did you get the opportunity?
Well, this guy, the guy that put it on, his name is Angelo. He had my dad come and do the same show about 3 or 4 years ago. And then he found out about, you know, oh, you have your son plays music, and whoa, send me the CD and everything. And we sent it to them, and they were like, oh my God, yeah, let's bring them. And then you can come and play with them. And then, like, you know, yeah, we'll fly you out, and then it's easy because you already know the songs. So yeah.
That is so cool. Just like so were you on stage like playing with your dad, or were you guys separate?
Oh yeah. I mean, he got to
That's
play with him. Yeah. I got to play with him. I mean, yeah, it's just, I play with my dad a lot, actually. I mean, it's just so I'm so like blessed to have him as my dad. Cause I mean, he's taught me how to play guitar. He's given me some amazing opportunities. It's just a real blessing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Were you
Dang, that's so
nervous?
cool.
Oh dude. Yeah. I was super nervous. Dude, it was just like over the top. Like it was in front of a castle, like a medieval castle. They made it like they put like a stage in front of this medieval castle, and it's near the beach. And the cool thing is that in Europe, like they're really serious about the arts in Europe. And a lot of people actually really like that old kind of music and 50s and 60s music, and even young people dig it. And the city like paid for that festival to be put on. So there were like tons of people like from the city just watching it. Like just it was really crazy, man.
That's so dope.
Dang. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wait, how long were you at Italy? Was it like a few weeks, just like a few days?
It was like a whole 1 week, about a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
How's the culture there?
Man, it's just, oh man, it's great. I mean, the food, the restaurants, the people were really friendly to us, and I mean everybody. Well, all the people that we were talking to and around, very artsy and into the art and just into the same things as us, really. You know, same music, same musical background, into a lot of the old-fashioned music, and just really nice people. Yeah, that's it.
Would you, like, later on in your career, would you be down to kind of move to Italy and just play there instead of living in America?
Maybe, yeah. Honestly, that would be cool. I'd be down for that, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Oh yeah, I also had a question. So like, because like your type of music is so like an old generation. Like, so what do you think of like today's like type of music? Do you like it, or like is it not your mood?
Good question. Well, honestly, I love all music, really. Like, I love BTS, honestly.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw BTS in Pasadena last year. Like, I love all music. I mean, I love, like, from every generation, there's good music. I feel like you can't limit stuff, you know, just because, I don't know, it's bad. You limit yourself if you limit what you like, you know? And as like a musician, I try to appreciate like everything. I could find something that I appreciate from like, I don't know, even like something that you totally would think I don't like at all. Like, I mean, there's some Travis Scott songs that I like, and you know, trap music isn't really my thing because it's just like it's so extreme, you know, auto tune and. But I mean, I like some of it, honestly, and it's kind of funny talking about it. But like, honestly, I love BTS so much.
Ethan's a K-pop fan.
Plays punk rock stuff sometimes and blues guitar and like band music and stuff. But like, honestly, I'm here to tell you, BTS is not an ordinary boy band because I mean, they write most of their own stuff, and they're just like ridiculously talented. I mean, the dancing, the music videos, like you'll never see like an ordinary pop group doing the music videos that they do. They're like so gothic and gritty and and experimental. It's bizarre, but yeah.
Wait, so do you like metal music too?
Oh yeah, I love metal. Yeah, my brother's a total metalhead.
Wow.
Oh my, wow. I didn't
Super open mind. Yeah, I like that.
I'm growing my hair. Might join a metal band.
Wait, so your brother plays music too, or just you?
Yeah, he plays music too. He's like total metalhead though. Like that's his thing, and that's pretty much it.
Wait, that's so awesome. Like you're basically what about your mom? Like, does your entire family play music?
My mom is really musical, but she's actually not a musician. She was a dancer when she was younger. When she was a teenager, she did ballet and different dances and stuff, and she was always around musicians. Her brother, my uncle, is a musician. There were musicians always around, and it's weird because she told me, like, she's like, you know what's weird, Johnny, is like when I was a teenager, like I always liked musicians, and I told myself, like, I'm probably gonna marry a musician one day. Like my dad listens.
Okay. So the next question is, how long did it take for you to make your album Johnny and Jaylee? I don't know if I said her name right.
Yeah, Jaylene.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I know it has 2 A's. It's like super
Yeah.
unique. And,
Yeah.
But oh man, we recorded that in like 2 days, dude. Honestly.
The entire album.
Yeah,
Oh.
in 2 days.
Bro,
Not because like we're good and we could do it. Like, dude, it costs money, man, to do albums, man. Like studio time, it builds up. Like, I mean, especially if it's like an hourly rate, like which it usually is.
Mm-hmm.
You have an engineer that's like at the mixing console, you know, doing all the complicated stuff
Oh. Mm-hmm.
on a computer or a couple of computers at the same time. And you got the mixing and mastering, which is like the post-production stuff. But dude, it goes up, man, like the money and stuff, like paying for studio time. But yeah, we did it in 2 days, and we got together. Like I got a bunch of musicians that my dad played with, because I knew they, I mean, you know, experienced guys. I'm like, what? Why would I have random
Yeah.
Right.
experienced dudes to play it? So yeah.
So like what? How did you guys come up with the idea for the songs?
Well, we just kind of it's interesting because, well, I was in this band called the Colony Boys. It was like my first band, and we did a lot of rockabilly stuff and roots music and all of that earlier kind of music. And Jaylene actually comes from like a church singing background. Like she was a singer like, on the worship team in church that I went to. And but I didn't sing in church, but she did, and I'd always seen her. And my parents got her to sing a song for me for my birthday when I was in that other band, the Colony Boys. And that's the first time like she sang like an old like 50s song. And it freaked everybody out because she was just such a good singer. And we were just like, what? This this is amazing. Like, I mean, it's great that you sing in church, but we want you to sing everywhere too. Like, this is so cool. You got to share the gift with everybody. So then like when I quit that band, I just started singing with her, and we were singing some of the songs that I sang in that old band. And then she was singing some other 50s stuff. And basically the album was everything that we were playing since we started the band up until that point.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So wait, so like all the songs that all the songs that you do live, are they all original, or are some of them original and like some of them others?
Most of them are actually covers, but
Okay.
then I write music like constantly, but I haven't really released any. We haven't released any Johnny and Jaylene originals yet, but we've recorded some, so that'll actually be out soon.
Yes.
We're making a
Nice.
Christmas EP, and I'm putting at least one original Christmas song that I put on there. That'll be out soon for Christmas time, and then we're working on another album of different, you know, not Christmas music.
Mhm.
That'll be out next year. And I have some solo stuff that I wrote that I released recently actually, and I'm releasing a solo EP about next month.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, near Halloween.
What's the like process of writing a song? Is it like something like inspires you and then you start writing, or do you sit down and then start thinking and brainstorming and writing?
Good question. It's both sometimes. Sometimes, yeah, I mean, sometimes you see something or you hear something, somebody tells a story. Maybe you have a really bad day, maybe you have a really good day. And then you go home and I pick up the guitar, or I play the piano, and something comes to me, and then I keep repeating it over and over again to you know, get it to sound catchy or to make it sound like something that I like, you know. And then I'll record it, man. I have hundreds of voice memos on my phone. Some of them of just random stuff, just like stuff that doesn't even make any sense. Like I woke up at midnight and yeah, like just random stuff. And then sometimes, yeah, like sometimes I'll just go out of my way and be like, okay, I'm just gonna write a song. And then I usually do the music first, and then the lyrics sort of come to me. But sometimes it's the opposite too. Like sometimes I'll think of a name of a song or lyrics and then kind of jot it out, make like a little poem, and then add music to it later.
That is so cool how like you can like, especially just like being able to like come up with the like the music or the beat, and then being able to figure out the lyrics that can go well with that. Like that just seems so out of the world. It's like coming from someone that is not that creative and cannot do that. It's so crazy.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
So when you send out these albums and songs, is there a part of you that's a little bit anxious? Like, what if like people don't like it and stuff like that?
Totally, man. Yeah, totally. I mean, well, it's yeah, because I mean I play a lot of this old and like vintage style music.
Right.
So the solo stuff that I've been releasing, and that's going to be on my upcoming EP, isn't really blues or rockabilly at all. So I'm kind of afraid of like the people that know Johnny and Jaylene to be like, well, what is that? That sounds a little too modern for me, you know? And then I'm kind of worried too about like my friends and younger people thinking like, what's he doing this, you know, this beboppy, you know, old people stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm conscious sometimes of all of it, but it's what I like to do. And, you know, you got to just kind of go with what you feel and what you like to do, you know?
That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, of course you have your own doubts sometimes.
Right. Yeah. I was listening to the album earlier today, and it's actually like kind of refreshing, you know, because everything on the radio today, it's all like pop or like rap, that kind of, you know, like grab a bucket and a mop, that's all rap kind of thing. But like your album, it's like that 50s, that 60s rock. It made me want to throw on a leather jacket and like slap a jukebox and go dance in a diner kind of thing.
Yeah, like man, that's totally what it, yeah, dude, that's great. That's awesome.
You have a great voice quality. Like the tone of your voice and like Jaylene's voice, it's great for the genre too. I love it.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. If it makes you happy, man, then we've won. That's what we.
That's so cool.
Cool.
Okay. So, in the screen answers, you talked about some difficulties, in your music career. Can you kind of elaborate more on that?
Yeah. Being in bands is really interesting. I mean, it's like, I think that's what I wrote in that. When you're on a sports team, you know, you have the you know, this guy does this and this person does this, and you're together, you're like a team, and each person kind of has their strong suit and their, you know, what they do to make you guys be the best you can be. It's kind of like that in a band sometimes too. You know, if you have a drummer, a bass player, a singer, another singer, a guitar player, whatever. And I'm honestly, like, you learn a lot about human relationships and human interactions being in a band. It's sometimes it's stressful, you know, like if you disagree with each other about something, or, you know, you get, yeah, like you guys are starting to get into different types of music and stuff and trying to keep everything together. And maybe someday one of you is having a bad day, the other one's having a good day, and you still got to be there for each other, you know? And I learned a lot about that through being in bands and stuff. Like you got to be a team player and give it your all, even when you're not feeling like totally like 100%, you know, yourself or whatever. And yeah, that's probably like one of the hardest things about anything is sometimes dealing with yourself or dealing with people, you know?
Yeah. You know, like you're like kind of comparison with sports. I've never really thought of that in the music industry. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're well, I don't even know sports that well, so I can't make a good but like if you're a defense player and like on your soccer team, you're not gonna like be taking the ball from your own forward and like trying to make a goal. You know? Kind of like that.
Awesome.
For sure.
Okay, and then and you talked about you acted a little bit. Can you talk about that? I don't know. I've never knew that you acted at all.
Yeah, dude. Well, I did like a lot of background acting for years. Since I was like 6 years old, I got into it. I got with an agency when I was about 6, and I was on a bunch of different TV shows, some movies and stuff. And so I'll tell you like a few of the like really weird ones, crazy ones. Like I was on Sam and Cat like when I was 15, and I got to talk to Ariana Grande. I probably shouldn't have. Probably, like, I mean, if you're a background dude, like you're not supposed to really go up to the stars and talk to them. And stuff, I was out of my mind, and I went up to her, and because she was actually she's really nice. She was, there weren't a lot of background actors that day. There were like maybe 6 guys. And it's the last episode of Sam and Cat, and we're all hair models. This is when I had really long hair, longer than this at the time. And it's the last episode, and we're hair models. And since there were only a few of us, she was showing us a music video on her phone that she hadn't released yet. She's like, "Yeah, guys, check out this video." And we were all like, "Oh my God." And like, "Why is she showing this to us? Whoa, this is crazy." And what'd she say to me? I had like a Hawaiian shirt that the wardrobe people gave to me, and she's like, "Oh, you're definitely doing overtime wearing that shirt. Like, I'm gonna be working like the whole day." She's just like so cool, and I'm like turning red, like I'm 14. Oh my God, Ariana Grande. And I asked her if she could take a selfie with me. I'm like, hey, I was wondering if you could take a selfie with me maybe. And she's like, yeah, why don't you give me your phone after the next shot? Cause you know, I'll take it. If you take it with me, then you're going to get in trouble, but I'll take it for you. And then like after the shot, she's like, can I have your phone? And I don't know why I said this. I'm so stupid. I was like, actually, it's an iPod Touch or something. I said something. I was just so ridiculously nervous. Like I didn't know what was going on. So I hand her my crappy like 2012 or whatever iPod Touch. And she takes the picture and I posted it on Instagram. And like, since it was such a crappy like iPod, like a few people were like, dude, that's totally photoshopped. And my friends were like, no, but his hair is touching her hair. It's on her hair. So when I went to
That's so
it was like a big controversy. That was the coolest thing, probably.
Wait, so Johnny, how did you get into acting? Like, what kind of, was it your parents that kind of influenced you, or who?
No, it was another. My parents never pushed me into anything, thank God. But like, I was just always like a really extremely hyper kid. Like, you know, don't give Johnny coffee; he's gonna freak out. You know, like totally sugar. You know, like bouncing off the walls, being just like ridiculous, hyper. And I loved movies and TV shows, and I was always imitating cartoon characters and stuff, and driving my parents nuts. And they knew somebody that had their kids in acting, so they figured out like who the person was, the agency and everything. And then like I think I did like a little audition. I don't know, I was like 6, so I don't really remember, but I think I did like a little sort of audition thing. And then I got signed up to do this with this background agency, mostly hired for like doing background stuff, you know, on TV shows and movies. Yeah.
So when you say like background, is it like the people in like the background like sitting down and like kind of just pretending to talk and all that stuff?
Yeah, or like walks by the camera or whatever. Yeah, like totally. But I've done a few commercials though too. Like I did like when I was really young, like when I think it was like when I first got into Oxford, I did this Disney XD commercial for Latino Heritage Month, Hispanic Heritage Month. And it was about bike riding and lowrider bikes, because I was really into bike riding at that time. And I got this job talking about it, my bikes and stuff, my bike collection. And like a bunch of people at like in school at Oxford were like calling me Disney Channel and like making fun of me and stuff. Hey, Disney Channel, like I remember it vividly, man. It was a trip. But yeah.
Hey Chung, wait, do you think we can find it on YouTube?
Yeah,
Just to put it.
I'll send you the link. I could find it.
Hey, okay.
Oh, dope.
That's dope.
Nice.
That's dope. Yeah. Okay. Wait, I was very confused with the background people, whether it was actors or whether it was strangers, because like they don't really do that much. They just like pretend talking and all that stuff. So I just think it'd just be strangers that they just pay like a few dollars just to send them back.
Man, it's crazy. There are people that do it like for a living, like every day.
Wow.
Like yeah, there's some actors, background actors, they'll work like 5 days a week. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much do they get paid per like?
It depends. You actually get paid more when you're a child actor.
Oh.
You get paid probably around anywhere between like $150 to like $200 a day. And then you get overtime too, and then it gets more. And then they bump you up for each thing that they do to you, like additionally. Like if they have to do your hair and makeup, then they'll add more money. If they give you clothes from their wardrobe, they give you more. Different stuff. And then if you're in a union, the Screen Actors Guild, you have opportunities to get paid more and do bigger things.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff.
Dang. Do you think you're gonna go back to that?
Dude, I actually worked on the set of a movie the other day for 2 days.
Oh wow!
Last weekend.
Can we find it? Can you say the name?
Is it like NDA right now?
They made me sign a non agreement. But I'll tell you, it's a trip, man, because it's COVID right now. They made me take a COVID test, And then to do the fitting, just the fitting, to like figure out what clothes I was going to wear. And then they made me do a second COVID test before the actual work day.
And you had to do the nose thing?
Swab, yeah.
Oh.
Nose and then your mouth.
How is that? It like goes right like all the way up your nose, right? It's like painful.
It's just wrong, man. It doesn't. You're shocked how far they put it in your nose, man. The Q-tip, the swab. It's crazy, but I mean, whatever you have to do to be safe, though, you know. And it's they're like, we're wearing masks up till the moment they say action. Like it's literally the director's like, all right, rolling, get your sound going, face masks off, background, action, like super slow process. And then as soon as the shot's over, masks back on. It's like science fiction. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Cool. We're gonna be watching a movie someday, and we're gonna be like, "That's Johnny right there."
Hey, that's Johnny in the far background.
I know that guy.
Wait, that wasn't him.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so what advice could you give to other rising musicians?
Man, be true to yourself. As cliche as it sounds, do what you like to do musically, do what you like to do artistically. Don't care too much about what other people think. What matters is what you think about what you're doing. You know, if you like what you're doing, keep doing it. And if I mean, it's crazy. Like, there's so many famous people throughout musical history that were doing something new and doing something different, or something that didn't, you know, sound good, quote unquote, to what was going on at that time. And they end up being like the next big thing. Like Elvis, it's crazy. I mean, there's this story about Elvis. He did this show at this famous theater in Tennessee called the Grand Ole Opry. It's one of his first big shows. And he played in front of a bunch of people. And at the end of the night, the manager of the theater went up and told him, "Hey, you know, I don't think this music thing is for you. I think you should go back to truck driving. You should go back to your job." Because he drove trucks for like an electric company or something. And he cried, man. It's so sad. He cried I think he took a train back home, and he cried the whole time. And he took his costume that he paid a bunch of money for to wear for that show, and he left it at the train station. But then they called him back the day after, and they were like, "Dude, we want you to play for like the next like 8 months." Like, same show. You can't completely focus on what people tell you, you know? You got to go with your gut feeling and do what you like to do.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of things that can be discouraging to a musician, right? There's others' opinions. And a big part is people want to make music their career. And what's your advice on, let's say, someone struggling, but they want to make it a career? What kind of steps can you take, or should you take, or what did you do to make it like financially stable as well?
Yeah, that's like the question of all musicians, is like, how do you make it? You know, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to navigate it myself. I just turned 21 this year, and I live with my parents still. I mean, it's pretty like impossible to live on your own in this generation, like completely alone. I mean, if you can live with your parents for the first few years, at least after high school, and if you're a musician especially, and you have the opportunity to do that, then I would do that. But I mean, yeah, you can't cast all of your pearls, you know, with music, of course, because it's such a competitive thing. All show business is so competitive. A lot of it has to do with who you know, and sometimes not necessarily even how talented you are. It's like who you know and who your connections are and stuff like that. How much money you have, you know, stuff like that. I would just, if you're trying to make it, give it your all. If that's what you want to do, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give it my all and pray to God that something good, you know, happens or continues to happen. And, of course, have backup plans and stuff. Like I'm still going to college. I've been going to college since I got out of high school. I've been going to college and taking classes and stuff. And another thing to think about is doing music technology classes and learning the technological aspects of music. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking like mixing engineering classes, mastering stuff, and it's good to have a all well-rounded, knowledge of everything that kind of goes on in music, maybe music business classes and stuff. And have a backup plan, of course. I mean, who knows? Who knows what will happen with this whole COVID, with the quarantine and coronavirus? It's been really hard on a lot of musicians that are actually like career musicians, and that's what they do. It's really sad because people that tour, all year, and that's their main source of income, they haven't been able to tour at all. So,
right.
I mean, if the people that have as many skills as they possibly can have are the people that will succeed,
Yeah, I totally agree. I love the fact of how you're still going to college just to have like the backup plan. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
Wait, sorry, what college are you going to?
I'm going to Fullerton Community College. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
The music program is really, really cool actually at Fullerton. They have all these professors are really like, they were involved in the industry. Like the last professor I had for one of my recording classes, he was the head of the sound like team at Universal Studios.
Ooh.
Like working on all of these different movies and different TV shows and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Experienced people on the board over there.
Right. So when you were in high school, how did you balance academics and music?
It was hard. It was really hard. Gosh. I mean, I try to get my homework done and stuff on time. Sometimes I wouldn't, and I'd suffer, and it was rough, honestly. I mean, I was on academic probation, like when I was in like 11th grade. Like seeing all of my friends having a free period, and then me having like 8 classes because I had like learning skills still because I was on academic probation, and it really deterred me from doing, not giving it my all. It made me want to work harder. Seeing all of my friends on Snapchat, like hanging out, going to whatever, Del Taco or whatever after school. I'm like in class. I was like, dude, what am I doing? I gotta stop. So, I mean, you gotta do what you have to do. You gotta work hard and everything. Devote your time to the thing you have to do.
So if if you had the option, do you think that you would go to a different school?
Honestly, I wouldn't. I mean, there's some universities that I applied to and stuff, but it really worked out that I didn't make it into them in a weird way, because me having the flexibility of being in a community college, and sometimes I'm not, like, I mean, a few semesters, I would be taking maybe 3 courses, so I wouldn't be full time.
Mm-hmm.
I had time to be able to travel. Like last year, I was able to go to Italy. I went to the Netherlands to perform at a blues festival. I went on a cruise to Mexico and played a bunch of shows, blues shows.
That's so cool.
It was so much fun, man. I mean, I was still taking classes, but if I was at a university, I probably wouldn't have been able to keep everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did a lot of shows too, and around here where I live, with Jaylene and stuff like that.
And then like, what about like Oxford? Like, do you think that you would have gone to a different junior high school in high school?
That's like the ultimate question. That's like the question we all ask ourselves every day.
Yeah.
Every day when I wake up, go to school.
Every day you wake up and you're in the quad trying to figure out what's going on. Well, man, I'm really glad, honestly, that I went to Oxford. Like, I mean, I think all of us kind of go through it a little bit where you're like, you have at least one difficult time that you can think of, and you're like, why am I going here? What would have happened if I went to this other school? And you really think about it, but it works out. Everything works out. Like, Oxford totally taught me to take responsibilities for myself. That, I mean, I don't know if I would have gotten that if I went to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Oxford really made us grow up in a lot of different ways.
That's true.
Maybe not so much socially, but
Yeah.
Totally like work ethic and stuff. Yeah, Oxford's great.
I totally agree. Okay, going on to the next question. Is this music thing something you want to do for the rest of your life? And if so, have you ever had doubts of this career?
Yes and yes. I totally. It's my dream to be able to have people all around the world hear songs that I've written and write songs for other people and be financially secure and stable through art and stuff that I love and that I like to do. And that's my ultimate dream. And if it doesn't happen, that's okay. But I mean, I'm gonna try everything I can to to do that, to reach that, and stay level and have something to fall back on if need be, and just try to stay productive through it all. And I mean, I would love it. I would love it if I could. And I'm gonna
That's
try.
awesome.
I have a question, just like a hypothetical. Like if one day this like you like finish a gig or something, and then this big name record label, this like big head honcho guy comes up to you and he's like, I can make you like Billboard Top 100, but you have to do this style of music that you don't like the style of music that you're not feeling, that like your heart is just not into it. Would you take a deal like that?
I don't think so. No.
Oh,
Really depends. I mean, if they made me like completely change, what I'm doing, made me use other songwriters and stuff, I wouldn't do it.
wow.
I mean, I write my own music. I mean, I'm not saying I'm like a great songwriter or anything, but I have something that I like to do that I kind of, I'm finding my style and stuff. And I kind of like what I have going, and, I want to be true to myself. And I mean, Jaylene and I have had like a weird kind of, not that big of a scale offer like that, but we've had an offer from somebody on a label, not like a super extreme label, but they did want us to change a lot of what we were doing. So we didn't go with it. Yeah.
That's
What
so
makes it
awesome.
genuine.
Yeah, that's
You
that's
gotta be
freaking-
true to yourself.
yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
Cause let's just say that you went down the path of taking that like hypothetical situation. Yes, you're gonna be financially, like on the outside, you're gonna be happy, quote unquote happy, but on the inside, it's not like who you are, and you're gonna lose like yourself. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, totally. It's I've seen it in movies, TV shows.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think so how do you know when you found that certain thing that makes you happy, and like what if it cannot make you financially secure?
Well, if music can't make me, music can't help me buy a house and, do all the cool whatever rock star stuff, that's fine, but it'll always be a thing with me. I mean, I'll play shows on the weekend still, and write music and release stuff. I mean, even if I'm working a day job, doing whatever, I'll always be doing music to a certain extent in my life, just because it means so much to me, and it's just what I'm obsessed with,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if I'm doing something, it'll always be there.
Like what? This is a little bit like off topic, but what if like someone who wants to be a musician, but isn't that good? Like, what happens then? Because I feel so bad because like you said before, like we shouldn't care about what other people say, but in this market, like it really depends on like your success really depends on the market and how other people really look at you. So it's like that kind of like it's very hard to find the line.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, if you're really bad and you don't want to get good, if you don't want to get better, that's the thing is, I mean, you have to want to get better and practice. I mean, there's some people that maybe weren't that good, like when they started off, but they like, they kept doing it, man, and they got better. And it really depends on how serious the person is, I guess. If it has to be somebody literally gives them like a talk about it, like, hey, if you're really serious about this, I'm going to let you know right now, you're not that good. So if you want this to be what you do, either stop now before you hurt yourself, and get disappointed or really get serious about it and get better. I don't know. Maybe,
Right.
Yeah, that like reality check. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You know, wait, I've always thought that like in order to be like good at singing, you just had to have that talent. Like you have to have that natural talent. And like how much work is it? How much like of actual singing is like the actual work and the practice versus the actual talent?
Honestly, it's work. I think like 80 or 90% of it, maybe 90% of it is the work. Like, I mean, honestly, my dad may be a musician and everything, and I may have some of the genes, you know, but when I first started singing, I sounded horrible. I didn't know how to sing. I liked it like instinctually, maybe because of what's in my blood and my DNA and everything. I liked it and I wanted to do it, but I don't think I was a good singer at all, especially with the guy that I was singing with. Like when I first started, the first band that I was in, the Colony Boys, I was with this kid named Sean Aleo. He's my friend still, and he was on like the Mexican Voice, La Voz, as a child. I think this year he just won
Wow.
Best Singer of OC. I think he won like a big thing this year, and he was in the Mickey
Wow.
Mouse Club. That's why we broke the band up. Actually, he joined the Mickey Mouse Club for like a year, and then but I mean, I was singing with this guy like I had just barely picked up the guitar. Like I literally was faking, like figuring it out on the job, like how to play guitar, figuring out how to sing. Like I wasn't in choir until 9th grade. Like in 8th grade I was playing cello and orchestra, and I was like with some young people, and like I was like, it was a serious thing. I was like, should I do orchestra or should I get into choir? And I was like, honestly, I need to learn how to sing, so I'm gonna go to choir. And honestly, like choir helped a lot. Like Mr. Hogan is a great choir teacher. He's really serious and he's really passionate and cares about what he does. And I mean, if you're willing to do the work, you're gonna learn a lot in any sort of singing class setting and anything like that. And I was singing with this guy, Sean, in this band, and he knew how to play guitar already. We were both kind of learning guitar. And he was an amazing singer, and I'm like learning how to sing, learning how to play guitar. I'm like, dude, I got to step my game up, man. Like there's an old saying, like iron sharpens iron, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you're with somebody that's way better than you and you're like over here, if you keep, practicing, you're going to get a little closer to them just being around them, you know? And being in a band with him made me become a lot better of a singer, doing gigs every week. Almost we were doing a gig, practicing every week. And then singing with Jaylene too. After that band broke up, Jaylene is a great singer, and I stepped my game up too, singing with her. And it's been work all the time. You may have a little bit of talent and the want to do it, but you got to put in the work for anything that you do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like I love how like you in your, I guess in your like how you talked about like in your junior year before, like when you were on academic probation, and then also in this instance with your previous like band member, the fact of how like you don't see it like someone better than you as like, oh man, I'm so bad. You see like iron sharpens iron. Like I'm gonna keep practicing until I get that good.
Yeah.
I think that's so crazy. Like, because not gonna lie, like right now the Oxford environment. I'm not sure like if this was it in your grade, but right now the Oxford environment, it's a lot of like comparing ourselves, and that's kind of why we created this podcast, is because we wanted to stop that. And like you have the total opposite of it, and just like having that confidence in yourself to be able to kind of grow. I think that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I mean, Oxford did that to me. Honestly, it was like that when I was going to Oxford. It was so competitive at Oxford. It's crazy competitive. But you have to look at it like, everybody has their own thing that they're good at. And, if you're not that good at this, you can get better at it. It's not the end of the world. You can. If you really want to, you can do it. And I mean, you can't really compare yourself to other people because, I mean, anybody that Kylie Jenner could compare herself to somebody and feel bad. Like, doesn't matter how much money or like whatever you have. Like, if you compare yourself to somebody, you're only gonna like tear yourself down.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
Love
just
that.
So what is your like dream with this music career? Like where like what is the best thing that could happen to you, like where this career could go?
Have my own like serious record label with artists and stuff, and training young artists and stuff to get better, and making music for movies and stuff. Maybe making my own movies. Like I make my own music videos. I mean, that would be my dream, man, to like make a like Prince. Prince made movies like starring himself, and he's doing all the music and he's acting in it. He's like maybe directing it. Like that's just the dream, like ultimate dream. Doing big stuff like that.
Mm-hmm, yeah, that'd be awesome. And dude, I believe in you, bro. You can do it, dude.
Thanks.
Do you have a venue that you want to play?
Oh yeah,
Like your dream venue?
Oh,
Madison Square Garden.
that'd be awesome.
That'd be just insane. I don't know, but yeah, I mean that's like the ultimate dream. Obviously, ultimate, you know.
So in order to get these like venues, is it that like the people have to contact you, or like do you kind of contact them?
It's like both. Like honestly,
Okay.
in the music industry, you have to be so outgoing, and like you have to have different connections, make connections, be willing to make connections. You know, you have to be, you know, you gotta be a decent person first off, and be nice to people. Obviously, you should. But I mean, yeah, you have to reach out and ask people and look for opportunities, and I mean, any opportunity is an opportunity too. I mean, we still do free shows sometimes. You know, if it's something that's fun, or if it's something that, you know, might lead to something better, you take the opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone doesn't have any more questions, it's almost 5 and we want to be respectful of your time. So we have like one final question we do at every episode. So just off the top of your head, what's one piece of advice you'd give to the audience? One general piece of advice.
My piece of advice, I would say, don't compare yourself to other people too much. Don't care too much about what other people think. Be true to yourself. Believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself before other people can believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, people aren't going to believe in you. So be true to yourself. You know, if you mess up, if you make a mistake, it's okay, because we're human, and that's what we do. We make mistakes. As long as we learn from these mistakes and we want to get better, if we have the want to get better, then we can get better.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Love that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Johnny. Dude, this was awesome.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It was really cool to talk to some Oxford people.
Okay, peace out, dude.
See you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Peace.